Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing a timepiece that launched in 2018. Practically the perfect watch. This is the Oris Aquis Date in 39.5 millimeters and stainless steel. The timepiece is easy to wear on any wrist, and on my 16 centimeter circumference forearm, you can see this 39.5 millimeter watch wears easily. It's only 12.7 millimeters thick, meaning it's about the same thickness as a Rolex sub. So if you can wear a sub with a cuff, you can wear this with a cuff. Across the wrist, delightfully compact, especially since the lugs themselves are as stubby and sharply downturned as you'd find on a standard 43.5 millimeter Aquis Date. The measurement across the wrist is 46 millimeters, meaning I can recommend this dive watch for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. Now there is a proprietary junction between the lugs and the bracelet, so you're going to want to use an Oris strap on this watch if you seek to swap it out of a bracelet, or you're going to have to get a custom. That said, I can't see any reason why you'd ever want to replace the factory bracelet and clasp. You will note that screws are used to fix the bracelet in place, which I love because that means extra security without the marginal risk of spring bars. There's also a highly integrated look that has a little bit of an air of 1970s sports watch design, as there's almost no daylight between the conforming profile of the bracelet and the case itself. All of these things look as though they were designed to exist together and designed by the same folks at the same time. You can see that the center links are of satin finish and the outer links are both polished on their shoulders and tapered. On their outer face, they're satin finished, and you can see that pins and sleeves are used to anchor the removable links, so you're going to want to have a punch and a block before you size this one, but you will also note that there are half links to make micrometric sizing a little easier. There are also 3 divots drilled internally, so you can change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp to fine tune, and then despite the fact that this is a pre-owned watch you can buy for under $1,700, it's full featured. There is a fold-out dive extension with a wonderful crisp action that inspires confidence, not just in the security of the watch, but in the quality of its manufacture. The clasp features a deeply engraved Oris logo outboard and twin trigger release, which I find to be refreshing in this segment where cheap clamshells generally are the rule. And though the clasp is stamped, it's made of such heavy gauge steel that it could almost have been a machined component. Now the triggers themselves are oval in profile, and there's a lovely polished bevel on the flank. The attention to detail here is rich. Jumping back to the case, you can see that it's relatively strong with a few simple and well-chosen lines. The lugs are stepped out from the case, so it doesn't look like an Omega Seamaster or Rolex Submariner dive watch clone. This one has a profile that's all its own and all Oris. The outer faces of the links are polished, and the outer knurling of the bezel likewise a polish with a polished ring just beneath. There is a wonderful ceramic insert that surprises me given the price point of the watch. Everything about this watch seems one product class and one price level above where it actually sits in the market. So the ceramic is highly scratch resistant. There is a white lacquer fill. It has an excellent action, and you can hear it. It sounds as good as it feels. Listen up. And while not all Oris dive bezels are created equal, this one is about as close to a sub in feel and ratchet sound as anything I have ever encountered. Some Oris bezels, I'll admit, have a little bit of a duff feeling to them. This one feels crisp. This one feels like a burrito part. Now the dial itself is a interesting combination of lacquer and a sunburst galvanized blue. So you have a galvanized metallic finish on the bottom, and then atop that you have a lacquer, and you could really see the border around the date revealing the gloss of the lacquer application. I didn't catch it on first pass, but the combination of the metallic and lacquered elements creates a dial that gleams and explodes. I always said sunbursts tend to explode in light and lacquer tends to gleam in glossy fashion. This watch does both. The hands are large, rhodium plated, and robustly loomed, and the same can be said of the applique indices. A watch in this price range could feature a printed dial. Oris doesn't do that. You get applique indices. On the crown side, you can see that the crown guards themselves are modular and designed to be removed and replaced if they get gouged. The crown is immense and easy to grip. In spite of the shouldering and protection from the crown guards, there's no problem quickly gaining purchase, threading it out and threading it in. And mechanically, This watch is identical to the full-size Aquis Date, which means you have a Sellita SW200 underneath the case back, 26 joules, automatic winding bidirectional for smooth action, a 28.8 beat rate, 38-hour power reserve, and it features quick set date as well as hacking seconds. It's a tank-tough watch that, as with its older brother, is 300 meters water resistant. This one just fits a lot better. And I would say that a lot of folks will never take their Rolex Submariner into harm's way because they're afraid of scratching it or scuffing it. Well, you may own a Land Rover and drive that daily on the road, but when the time comes to truly go beyond the beaten path, you're going to want an old beaten up Defender or a TJ Wrangler, something that's still fun to drive, but is able to take a knock without pangs of conscience. This watch, as you can see, is not a beaten up TJ Wrangler or a Defender. This one is factory fresh, and the previous owner didn't have the heart to wear this watch as intended. Don't be like him. Enjoy this watch. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox. The Oris Aquis Date by night, plenty of lume.